And 3, 2, 1. Looks like we are live for BobaCast.
Yay, we're live.
Woohoo! So, welcome everyone to BobaCast, where we take something healthy like tea and make it as unhealthy as possible by adding tapioca and milk and sugar and all kinds of things.
Yep.
I don't really have an opening. I'm running out of jokes to do in the opening. Who knows?
Here's one. Wick was awesome.
Oh, did you finally see
I finally saw John Wick.
Yay!
I love it. It was good.
Oh yeah, it's just everything from the using animals as weapons to
Yep. I loved it. It was good. They leave it open for more, and it was super awesome. A lot more fights.
Great. Yeah. Well, you'll just have to die. I like how everybody who fights him just they stop and they just go, that is the John Wick. There he is.
Oh, did you notice the two kung fu characters from the raid?
From the raid, yeah.
I instantly knew that guy. Like I knew it was him.
Seen both those movies. They're fantastic. Definitely check those out if you haven't. They're kind of nuts.
It sounded like they were speaking Tagalog too when they were doing their talking between themselves about John Wick. It's Wick, and in Tagalog, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, speaking both languages. Yeah, that movie was the overthrew Endgame finally. And this week I have been. I went to an anime convention, which we'll talk about. I have not been watching any anime because I am way behind in where I should be for the anime. I'm way behind in my watching. But I will be this weekend probably catching up on some of that. But convention and unpacking and getting set up after the convention haven't been not a lot to talk about. But there's a new Diablo 3 season. There's a new Destiny season. There is just a ton of really great content for games coming out if you like those kind of live service online games. But that's pretty much me. I haven't been doing all the crazy stuff I've been usually doing. I recorded a new video today that will be going up on the channel as well as this podcast for this upcoming week. So, what have you been up to?
Even though it was a short week, busy week, very challenging and busy. But I'm trying to do my best. So I'm seeing things I know I need to improve at work, but.
It's work related?
Yeah, but it's going good at least,
It's still a new job though, so you're just adjusting to the flow of.
Even though it's still temporary, it's still a good job and learning new things. And
how long does the temp period last?
Well, it was supposed to be 2 weeks, and it's going on 3+ months now. It's almost 4 months.
Great.
It's good. There are some characters in the company too. Owner's very nice, super chill. But he's on vacation now. But other coworkers, helping them too and stuff like that. So that was good.
That is nice. Yeah. And obviously John Wick. You saw John Wick, so that was it's great.
I saw the late showing on Monday night.
Oh, you did.
Sorry, Sunday night. I'm sorry.
All right, it's super late. Yeah.
Well, I was trying to go to the 9:15 showing. I got there. There was a line. So okay, standing in line. All of a sudden they come out and say, "Hey, anyone want paying with card? We can help you inside." So I go inside. There's a long line. So by the time I got to the register to get my ticket, that says it's like 10, 15. You only got 15 minutes until the next showing. You might as well just stay until there. And even though there was probably still in previews, I saw the movie. So it was very awesome.
How do you feel about assigned seating?
I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't either.
I was curious about that. It's like, why are you doing assigned seating now?
I don't know. It makes it easier for that guy with the clipboard whose job it is to come into the theater in the middle of the movie and mark down stuff on a clipboard. That's always great.
Is only Regal doing that, or is Edwards doing that?
No, I think it's everywhere. In fact, try to find... And some of them are not just doing assigned seating. All of the seats are those recliner chairs, and there's less seats in theaters, and they cost more, and anything to make money, right?
Well, maybe the next movie I go see see it at Spectrum. Then I saw it Wick over here at our theater, so maybe go see it at Spectrum and see what they're saying.
Yeah, you can. I found though that if I go early enough in the day, then I can get a seat that's like on the side because everybody bunches up in the middle of the theater, and then if you go to the right, then you can sit on the side and still see. I just kind of twist myself slightly to the left, and just sit there. So
when I was paying for my ticket, it says, "Where do you want to sit at?" And he shows me on the screen, points to it, says, "You can choose your seat." And I'm like, "Okay," so I pick here. And like, "Are you sure you want to do that?" That's the edge. And like, "Yeah," but like, it's oh no, sorry. You sure you want to sit there? Like that's right next to the screen, right in front of it. And I don't care. But then they said, "Okay, fine." I just chose another seat. I chose one more back. So like, I don't care.
The problem is, you go to your assigned seat. It's a packed theater, and you just so happen to be behind the family that is yelling in your ear and popcorn noises and all this junk, and you're just like, please help me. But anyway, the main, I don't really have the usual This Week in Awesome, This Week in Stupid. This Week in Stupid was that a Christian church was hosting the Drag Queen Story Time, which if you told me when I was a kid, by the way, libraries and churches were going to have men dressed up as women telling stories to little children. I don't know what the story is about. I would not believe you that was a thing. But it's a stupid thing, and that would be... I'm not going to go into it because I was ranting about this earlier to somebody. But anyway, so that would be the dumb thing this week. The cool thing this week would be... like I said, if we were doing those categories, this week would be, I've heard from a few sources that Alex Trebek has shrinking cancer tumors.
That's a good thing. He announced that a while back that he actually had cancer.
Yeah. Well, apparently he's getting close to that. Well, someone said near remission. I don't know if it's that good right now, but definitely it's nice to hear that people are beating cancer. It's always a positive message. So he can host more Jeopardy. Trebek! And all that. Yeah.
I could do another parody of him. Yeah.
SNL parody of that is always really funny.
And I sent you that thing on the weekend. I was helping a couple of days ago. Sorry, I was helping my dad clean the garage, and I found those VHS animes. So that's pretty interesting.
Right.
It was my brother's.
You found Area 88.
Yeah.
Which is UN Squadron in the U.S., which is an old Nintendo game as well as an anime show.
Yeah.
What's the other one called?
Exer 1.
Like a space anime?
Yeah, it's like a space anime.
Yeah.
But these were my brother's, and they're on VHS. So, but because my parents are doing some house improvements, so I'm helping them clean out the garage. So my brother has a lot of stuff there still. He has his old comics, which I need to go through. He has a whole drawer full of comics. So I'm not sure if my sister-in-law wants me to sell them or not, but
okay.
I need to do that. But yeah, that's my day of awesome at my parents' house, help cleaning up, and I find that.
Yeah, of course I've been cleaning up our house and I've been putting all my figurines from my new trip.
Yeah.
But today, our main focus, we're going to talk about anime conventions because it's for those of you who do not know, anime conventions are when all of us crazy people who like cartoons Japanese cartoons, in fact, go to one location, be it a stadium, hotel chain, whatever, and celebrate it through dressing up in costumes, hanging out together. Most conventions, though, even though a convention will be focused on one thing, mainly Comic-Con for comic books and Anime Con for anime, sometimes they branch out and they are different things. Like you'll have people will share things, share pop culture interests together at these conventions. So you'll have a game room with all these games, and someone made a funny when I was at the convention this past weekend. Someone made a really funny reference that it's funny how we're at a Japanese anime con, and majority of the video games that people are playing are Fortnite and Overwatch and games that are American made or made in the States. It's like well, and then there's all the people playing the fighting games, which are obviously uniquely Japanese. This weekend is known as the FanimeCon in San Jose. And FanimeCon, I think it's at about 35 to 40,000 now, which compared to conventions like the Anime Expo in Los Angeles is about half of the population of Anime Expo. That's why when you go to Anime Expo, you're like, there's twice as many people as Fanimate there are, because there are twice the number. More than twice, actually.
Well, the thing about anime conventions is not just anime convention. Like there are times that you actually meet creators of the actual animes or voice actors of animes from back in like the 70s, 80s, whatever. Like I heard the past couple of years of Anime X, there's always someone from Japan, like at least 10 people from Japan. Like they're either they draw the anime or they actually do voices. And even I met JSB, Johnny on Bosch, the original Black Power Ranger. He was a voice actor in a bunch of animes. So like, I met him. So you're actually meeting, the fans are meeting the creators.
You got a buddy who, when he goes to Fanime, he goes to the Power Ranger kind of meetup. Mm-hmm. And other people who like the show or dress up as the show and really like that.
I've done that too.
Fanime is mainly an anime con, but it's the kind of convention where the reason I go is because there are friends there that I only see one time per year.
Yeah.
Every year, just some friends that I see, and I hang out with them. And most of them, I met people who had similar interests as me, gaming, anime, whatever, and we all hung out together. Just kind of go through what a typical anime convention experience is as far as Fanime goes. So people think that, we're having fun, we're going to a convention, we're relaxing and enjoying ourselves, but conventions are really hard on your body, and they're really hard on, there's some mental stress involved sometimes, not usually because you're just having a good time, but definitely with logistics and some other stuff, it can be rather hard. And I was really out of shape before the convention started, and I had to start walking 10,000 steps or more a day to get in shape to be able to survive a convention, which is you will average 20,000 steps a day, and even more if you're really an avid fan walking around a lot. The typical thing is, what happened at Fanime at least, you got into my hotel, you check into your room, sometimes you just drive there, whatever, and you get in a hotel and everybody's real nice and everything works out. Sometimes you got to bother them about your hotel room, and they actually charged me for a parking charge at the end, and I didn't have a car. But I flew in, I get my hotel, and then you have to wait in some kind of registration line because you get a little badge, and Fanime, the line this year, I mean, I had to wait almost an hour in line because the line wasn't moving yet. Once it started moving, I got my badge in less than 10 minutes. It was very fast, and probably because of the population and because of that they have these little computers, and you just hold your phone with the confirmation email in front of it. And it goes, and it makes like a Zelda sound, a Zelda sound or something, and it lets you, and then you pick up your badge at the end of the table. You get a lanyard, and you have your little badge that you have to keep on. And Fanime has an area where you have to show people your badge before you can go into the area that is for badge holders.
Why hasn't Anime Expo and adopted that? Every year they seem to change the registration process. There's a line one year, and a different line another year, and it's longer, shorter, takes less time, takes more time. But
they haven't figured it out. Same thing at Fanime, but on a smaller scale. So the line goes in, and at Anime Expo, the issue with that is that when you're in line, that line can take up to 4 to 6 hours because
in the hot sun,
in July. So
yes,
there's so many freaking people that you're just like, and they have a bunch of computers set up, and it's really easy to scan your badge and everything, but I don't think they they need to have like 500 of these computers. Like they have a little section sectioned off with about 25 of them. There's like 60,000 people coming through this, day one turnstile. You got to have, but yeah, the lines at Fanime before they started their computer system had a 6-hour line, and at the end of it, I was holding myself like I had to go to the bathroom, and I'm like, "Can I get my badge, please?" But I'm glad they're using the computers now and picking some things up. It's been really nice to see the lines, but Anime Expo is just, there's so many people, and I think one day we're going to outgrow that Los Angeles convention. just to make things clear, Anime Expo, when we say that, we're referring to the convention in Los Angeles, and when we say Fanime, it's the one in San Jose. There's stark differences because conventions always start with what we call day zero. To go back to the when you go to day zero of AX, you stand in line, you get your badge, and then if you have a room, you go back to your room, or you meet some people, maybe you go out to eat. You got to kind of make your own day zero. With Fanime, though...
Or do the arcade, because that's usually open on day zero. Isn't it?
No, not at AX.
I thought they were. Huh.
No, the arcade is in a separate hotel room completely, and they don't open. They don't open on that first day. So, but at Fanime, they open the 24-hour game room, which includes the arcade, on day zero. And they have a swap meet where people can bring their stuff and just sell it on the floor in a big old tent. And in Expo, since they run it for profit and they don't want you selling your stuff, they want you to buy their stuff or their vendors and all that, they don't allow that. That's where AX, which is run by the Society for the Promotion of Japanese Animation.
SPJA, yeah.
Right. And Fanime, which is run by a fan group. Fanime runs more like a non-profit, and AX runs like a profit, for-profit center. So Fanime is really like a giant party that never ends. I mean, AX has some semblance of a party, but there's too much just corporate junk that gets in the way that I think really keeps AX from becoming the really great convention it could be. A lot of people kept saying that AX lost its soul because too many people and there's not enough, you can't meet your friends there. It's a lot harder to connect with people and have these close-knit relationships. Fanime is more that I don't even do the anime rooms or the panels.
You do? For Anime Expo? I thought you did.
Anime Expo, I go to certain panels, but for Fanime, I almost do nothing because we're just hanging out with friends. There's a lot of shopping. There's a lot of places to eat, and we're around these people we see once a year. And it's really just like a party convention. I really like it.
Mega 64. What? Mega 64.
Mega 64, the group that comes.
I usually do that panel with you.
Yeah, I got you to go to that panel first. But Fanime, I won't even go to the panels. But day zero, you go to the swap meet, you go to the game room, you play a little bit, and you're already tired. You've walked 20,000 steps. You're really tired. You're like, well, I got this hotel room. I better crash. Then day one of the convention start, and there are several areas you can go to. They have the exhibit hall where vendors are selling, and you have the artist alley where artists are selling their art, and they have a little booth set up, and you go in there. They have anime viewing rooms. They have panel rooms. Fanime this year I didn't really like this idea, but they had an entire hotel room, or the DoubleTree Hotel. Some of the upstairs rooms were completely sanctioned off so they can have nothing but adult games and hentai and stuff. And they had Cards Against Humanity, which I wanted to go play, but I'm like, I'm not going to wade through the sea of pornography to get to this Cards Against Humanity. I'm not a hentai fan. It's really popular. Anime fans love naked anime girls. I like them to have clothes on. Just me. You can go to the anime viewing rooms and panels, and there's restaurants everywhere, and it's just a fun place to hang out with friends and do various activities. And there's a lot of people to meet, a lot of stuff to buy. I think at Fanime I blew like $400. I mean, it's a lot of money on just junk, really, but it's kind of awesome because you're just hanging out and enjoying your time. So I wanted to ask you what some of your favorite things to do at an anime convention is.
Besides the exhibit hall, fan rooms, meeting artists and stuff. Like I said, I go to the Mega 64 with you. I actually last couple of years, I met Rocco at their booth on the exhibit hall to say hi. Then I saw that they went to their panel. Was it every year for some reason Anime Expo only gives them 1 hour in their panel room, and the line alone takes longer than 1 hour to get in, and they always start late. But
for those of you listening, Mega 64 is a sketch comedy kind of that they did lots of work for game companies in the past. They did promotional materials for some of the Metal Gear games. In fact, they have some funny videos where they were at the game developers conference, and they're running along pretending to be Snake from Metal Gear, and they run into Hideo Kojima himself, and he's like, He just looks at him, doesn't say a word, and then he pretends to sneak around the city with him. Mm-hmm. They got their start doing a Mega 64 got their start doing a basic cable type show, and then they went from basic cable to now doing internet videos. And their first videos were like dress up as a giant Tetris block and reenact Tetris in a crowded mall, I originally referred to them as video game jackass kind of. And Rocco's one of their guys, been with them for a long time, and I always go to the booth and I go, so Rocco, tell me some Hideo Kojima stories, because they always. And I went to the panel, and they told a story of how Hideo Kojima was just walked around in a hoodie and had a T-shirt with Walter White from Breaking Bad on it, and would just point at the shirt and go, ha, ha. So they always tell these stories, or he makes, he always does. He's a pretty weird guy, but I will mention Hideo Kojima at the end of the podcast too. But
yeah. So.
But you like Mega 64?
I do fan rooms. I do always do AMV Iron Chef,
which is where which is where they have. It's like real Iron Chef. They have two people with a handful of clips and footage from anime, and then they have one that they call the special ingredient, right?
Yeah, special ingredient, secret sauce.
And they have to put it in their final video.
Yeah, right? Forgetting the past 4 or 5 years, they actually have 3. They have the 2 creators editing, then they have something called AMV Trainwreck. So basically, there's an animator. They choose random animators, and they'll watch anime AMVs, and maybe every few AMVs they'll get call names in the audience, or says, hey, pick an effect, or pick an anime from the Then they'll pull a thing out of a hat, and they'll say, okay, you can pick this anime, and they give it to the guy, and they'll open the source and start editing with that anime. So basically, that's why it's called Trainwreck.
Yeah, and these are all trained editors and stuff. But yeah, we don't have a lot of time or resources. You got to really.
Yeah, and they're given 3 hours. It's 3 hours, I think.
Yeah. Which any AMV editor knows it takes a lot longer than 3 hours to make a quality AMV. My shortest one I ever did took 9 hours. My shortest one. But speaking of AMVs, one of our favorite things to do at the Anime Expo every year is the AMV contest. Remember, we go on Mondays, usually. Or not Mondays, the first day of the convention. First official day. We go on that day, and basically it's about 3 hours of just anime music videos. People have already submitted them throughout the year. They've chosen different categories, drama, whatever, and they put anime to music, and it is really fun to watch what people come up with. I was actually going to submit one, but I either it didn't work out for me, or I kind of chickened out or something, and so I will definitely submit next year to probably several conventions, because I will have at least 3 or 4 AMVs that are good quality that I can submit.
Yeah, you're missing one too for the AMVs. They also have, it's not really a voting category. It's called AMV commercials. So after each segment of AMVs, comedy, drama, there's always 3. I'll call the extra AMVs, and they're just parody commercials done with anime, so AMV commercials.
Yeah, those are hilarious because they're short, they're funny, and they're sweet, and they're just real quick. And they have some really funny stuff they did. And of course, I'm just drawing a blank from videos last year.
I wish that Anime Expo would kind of move the AMV contest up more, because keep in mind there's fans from all over walking the convention for a full 8 hours. I admit I have actually happened about 2 years ago. I fell asleep at the AMV contest because I was so freaking tired from walking all around. They should move it up at least, not like 8 o'clock at night. Come on, do it like 5 o'clock, 5 in the afternoon or something. Start there, then do an AMV contest.
Yeah, but like I said earlier, they're really tough. I mean, when I was done with the convention, I had lost like 3 pounds. I was like, and I was eating pizza and burgers every day, and I still lost weight.
Convention food?
Actually, well, here's the difference. Fanime has really amazing places. There's a Mexican food place. They have a kind of Asian fusion type place. They have a place for cheesesteaks, and they have a sandwich place, and they have all kinds of crazy, and a pizza place that's really, really good. And all of them are just fantastic. And Anime Expo, really, your choice is like, do you want to go to, what burger place do you want to go to? And they're all kind of the same. Or you can pay way too much, like $12 for a burger and fries at the convention center.
Yeah.
And I found at Anime Expo, I found the Fat Burger.
Yeah.
Walk a few blocks, go to Fat Burger.
Yeah.
And you get your burger, and I lucked out because I was in the Fat Burger, I finished my burger, and I walk out, and there is, parked on the street, a food truck simply called the Boba truck.
Yeah, they have a Boba
right
truck
there.
everywhere.
And I was like, strawberry milk tea, please. So
yeah, well, the past couple
awesome.
of years has been different. Like, so now they actually have. So, if for many people who don't know, Anime Expo used to be in Anaheim, and it was better because Anaheim had a lot more places to go for like food and stuff. And I guess they changed it. It was at Long Beach one year. Then after that, it's basically permanent in LA.
It got too big in Anaheim. They moved it to Long Beach for at least 2 years. I remember because the AMV contest got canceled the first night, and everybody had to come back the next day, and they had to fix the projectors. Just a mess.
Yeah, but for food wise now, it's like since it's in LA, you have two choices now for food. No, sorry, three. You can get convention food inside a convention center for highway robbery, very lot of money. Go outside, like maybe 20 feet out the door, you'll see some Mexican carts selling hot dogs. They're very good for like $5.
Hot dog, hot dog, hot dog.
They don't. Yeah, they do that. Yeah, they're saying that. But for some reason, the city of freaking LA, they're every time I go out there to get a hot dog, there's always a cop and I'm pushing them back. Sorry, you can't sit here, sir. You can't sit here, sir. Or, ma'am, they're pushing them away. And all they're doing is just crowding those vendors across the street and making it more complicated for people to cross the street. And the third option is just walk across the street and straight across, and now they have one half parking lot full of food trucks, which is still kind of tiny. So
yeah, they moved some food trucks.
Yeah, it's decently priced though, not too good, but decently priced.
I'm gonna tell you what happened at FanimeCon this year. I'm walking towards the convention center, the main area where everyone is. All the costumed people, the cosplay people, they gather in the center. And I'm walking up there, and there are two people. They're wearing the Guy Fawkes masks. They're holding televisions that are powered by something on their hip, like big TVs. And you know it's like a protest from Anonymous. They basically are showing footage of like a slaughterhouse, and like it's almost kind of like woe to you, meat fast food companies and meat packers, and I walked by them, but it's a little creepy, and because they weren't moving, they were sitting there static with these TVs. I walked past them, and there's on the street in front of the convention center, there's an army of the hot dog vendors that you mentioned earlier. Mm-hmm. An army. They camp there overnight because Fanime is a more 24-hour convention. LA, they'd probably be kicked off the street or something, but they're there, and I see them with the hot dogs calling out to attendees and stuff. And then there are a bunch of anime fans kind of randomly dancing. And there's two people standing there, and they have the big signs. And one sign simply says, "Repent with fire or perish." Repent or perish. And I'm just like, first of all, if you're going to get someone to, and I mean, they're obviously from some church or something, but if you obviously want someone to join if it's a religion or a club or a cause of some kind, if you want them to join that, you really need to make sure that if you come up to them like, "You're going to hell," and you're like, yeah, I definitely don't want to join those people because they're starting with the hellfire and brimstone. You need to start with camaraderie and joy and love and things that people are going to gravitate to, and then you can work in the hellfire and brimstone because that's also part of it. But I'm a little annoyed by my fellow Christian brothers sometimes. I always say like that's great if you love Jesus, but watch out for some of the people calling themselves Christians because they can be a little crazy. But one time I heard a guy talking about it. This guy was an atheist in one of the panels, but he was like, you know what? Those Christian guys, they have the signs and everything, but they're pretty nice people, especially if you get them drunk. That's what he said. So it's just, that's a lot to take in. anime fans dancing, the anonymous people, the hot dog vendors, the crazy Bible thumpers. I mean, all those people at once.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just walked in, went to the game room or something. But they have those at Anime Expo, but they're really confined to the outside, and they don't go as far in as they do in Fanime. Fanime is smaller and has all the crazies come out. This year was fun. I had a friend of mine with me who I let stay in the hotel room for free, and because we didn't make a giant mess in the hotel, we got a $300 credit. So we spent $500 on a hotel instead of spending $800 on a hotel. I thought it was quite nice.
Does that mean there's a trend at Fanime that people during that convention hotels are kind of ransacked or messed up? Is that why they have that fee, or is that the standard?
That's every convention.
Oh, okay.
Every convention has that where people, because rooms are usually filled with way too many people. They'll cram as many people as they can. And hotels are like, we can only allow you to have one extra guest, and they'll have like 14 people crammed in a room. One of the reasons why I started getting my own room at conventions is because you walk into a room and there's just alcohol everywhere. People have been partying all night, and you're like, well, this guy was nice enough to let me. I paid for this. I went halvesies with the guy. Paid for part of the room, and I have to I have to kick over a drunken 19-year-old so I can sleep on the floor. Right in front of the bed where a couple's on the bed making out. People are in the bathroom of the hotel getting drunk in there, and I got tired of just the constant kind of party debauchery kind of thing. I just wanted to enjoy a convention by myself, and I found a few friends who also my buddy I went to. He's just like, he kept trying to get in touch with his friends during the convention, but some of them would get drunk in those hotel rooms, and he's just like, And he turned to me and just said, I hate alcohol. I hate what it does to the convention attendees. But there's a party lifestyle. And there's been scandals. There's been, this guy slept with a girl and they don't know if it was really consensual and all that kind of junk. In fact, you have all the people who dress up in costume there, all the cosplayers, and there's some really cool costumes, but there's a phrase that you shouldn't have to tell people this, but the phrase is cosplay is not consent. So you have to tell these horny teenagers who go to these conventions that this is not appropriate to, because they're wearing a sexy costume does not mean that you can just grab them, And
I saw that yesterday online. There was some dude at Fanime was caught like ripping people at Fanime, wasn't it? Yeah, I saw that.
I think it was, yeah.
I'm like, what the heck? Like, seriously, dude?
Yeah, there's a dark side.
Yeah, I agree. I have cosplayed. You saw my cosplays. Once I was Ted.
You went as Ted from the movie, yeah.
And someone thought I was Pedo Bear, which is kind of weird. Then one year I went as a big panda. And I think that when I was dressed as Ted, I hugged a Snorlax.
I have that picture. Yeah, it's really funny.
You need to show me that picture. I don't think I have that, but I remember I was walking around the game hall, and all of a sudden I see a Snorlax just come through the door and just sit there, blocking everyone from coming in for like a minute, and then he moves away. But I walk around and I hug up at the Snorlax and like that. But that's
what Snorlax does. It just sit there.
Yeah.
But I've never dressed up. But the other issue, some people complain about this, some people don't, and that's people don't shower at these things. And I have a confession to make. My first convention, I only showered once. My first convention, but I was 19 years old and stupid, and I think a lot of other stupid 19-year-olds don't shower either. And there's kind of been a joke that you go to a convention, you got to wear deodorant, and even YouTubers who make videos, they have one YouTuber specifically put said this is body spray. It's a special kind of spray that you spray on the body to mask odors, but it is not a shower. I repeat, this is not a shower. But now I shower every day, and I think the idea is that a lot of people who go to conventions, they don't have a lot of money, or they spent all of it on anime stuff. Like I said, even I have my own hotel room these days when I go to Fanime. If you were like, people are gagging around me, I really need to shower, I would be like, use my shower. I would volunteer my shower for you, if that would help you smell better at a convention. Because there's 50, 60,000 people in a location. You need to at least use deodorant so you don't smell like a foot.
Well, that brings
a problem sometimes.
But this brings a question then. I know I agree with people don't take showers and stuff at conventions, but since the game room at Fanime is 24 hours, do you see people sleeping in the game room 24 hours, then going back to the convention again?
No, I've seen people sleeping outside of it, but no one actually sleeps in the game room, probably because there's a lot of games there. But no, they don't allow them to sleep in the convention center. Maybe they have in the past, but I think they have people who monitor that.
Okay, because that's like weird. Like, do actually people sleep somewhere around outside with no hotels, and like they're sleeping outside, and they don't shower or anything, go back to the convention the next day?
Well, that's why people cram into the rooms, because not everybody can afford to hotel rooms. Because my hotel room was $505, and that's going through with the credit and some of the discounts I got by going through the official Fanime channels, and I didn't even get that room until the last minute because I was on a waiting list.
Mm-hmm. I know. I remember you showed me that. Yeah.
The hotel I booked before that I eventually canceled because I didn't need it was $840 for 4 nights. It's expensive, man. I mean, if you get a hotel at an anime convention, I mean that's and your friends aren't, and you do what I do, you let people stay there for free, like letting my friends stay there. It costs a lot of money, and you got to make sure you got about. I always budget about $2,000 for an anime convention. This year I didn't. I barely spent over $1,000 total with hotel room and everything else. But it can get pretty pricey. And a lot of people don't. Some people have money, but a lot of people don't. I'm sure there's a lot of people who pool their money together and get rooms. And
that gives me an idea. Maybe I should invest in a small apartment over in up north for Fanime, and every time Fanime comes around, it says, I'll charge for showers.
Airbnb.
Yep.
Airbnb, just set that up. I've been tempted for Fanime to get an Airbnb, but the one event they have an event called the Anime Expo. The events have changed. I mean, they have the AMV contest. They used to have AX Idol, kind of like American Idol, but with anime songs and voice.
I think they only lasted like 3 years: 2005, 2006, and 2007, or something like that, and then vanished.
Right. It wasn't. I kind of liked it though, and of course the one year that I decided not to go was the year you went, and you're like, by the way, you missed Lance Hankerson. He was there, Bishop from Aliens. Yeah, Lance Hankerson came out and was there, and I was like, dang it, I missed him.
Hey, was that the one I made the video of? The AMV AX video I put on YouTube.
I don't know. You might have.
I remember I made a big slideshow / videos of Anime Expo. I think it was 2005, and you said all the music I selected was perfect for it. So yeah, I need to find that video again.
Yeah, I guess we have so many videos and photos of old conventions. Mm-hmm. I'm probably gonna throw several of them up while we're talking about the conventions. But yeah, there is so much that goes on during conventions, and here's how you can tell if you're telling about a convention to a normie or a coworker. They will call it a conference. Where's your conference, Dan? Because they don't know what a convention is versus a conference. We're not going there to talk about meetings and structure and business stuff. We're going to party and spend way too much money. That's what we're doing.
You're not going to see what a Gantt chart does. Just kidding.
What?
A Gantt chart.
What is that?
It's a chart online, for I think it's Microsoft Project. You can do organizing projects and stuff.
Well, what's funny is if you go too far at a convention, you'll eventually get to a point where there aren't any more anime fans, and you're sitting there in your weird costume among the normal people, and that's why you try to stay close to the convention, especially if you're wearing a certain T-shirt or something. You're wearing a weird costume. But yeah, cosplay is really fun, and convention attendees are usually pretty nice. In fact, I always see police walking around. And there's not usually a lot of drama. I mean, there's not usually. We talked about the guy who was groping people, but those are few and far between. They're pretty safe places. Although, if you have children and you take them to an anime convention, just please hang out with them, play games with them, and don't leave them sitting around because you never know. But they're pretty safe mostly. But definitely, Anime Expo can be a little hard because it's in July and the sun is bearing down on you. But for the most part, if you like, these conventions are big and they're growing every year, and they're a lot of fun hang out with friends, and yeah, I look forward to seeing Mega 64, see what they're doing right now, and I also enjoy. One year there was a shoot 'em up arcade game panel, and I thought that was a really fun one, but they didn't do it again because they couldn't get the space or whatever. But like I said earlier, so if any of you listening are interested in any of these conventions, FanimeCon just ended. It's a smaller convention. It's in San Jose, California. It's a great time, really great food over there, and a great atmosphere of kind of like close knit friendship and that kind of thing. And if you live in the LA area and you like anime, you should check out Anime Expo. It is the biggest convention in North America. Had 107,000 last year, probably more this year, and it's extremely busy. But it's also can be fun if you go with friends, because going alone is not very much fun. Friendship really does make conventions. Yeah. And anything else you want to say to close our
for animes stuff?
Anything about a convention you want to mention?
Not really. I'll be starting up LineCon over at Anime Expo this year. So.
Because you own the LineCon domain, and
yeah, I'll probably get some lanyards made for it. Business license is coming, but
that's cool. But yeah,
my friend was happy. Masude was happy about that. He was like, "Give him the lanyard. Here you go."
That's cool. Good business opportunity, especially since that's the nickname we always give to these things. It's LineCon, yeah, I think I still have to get my Anime Expo registration done.
I do too.
But I'm also going. I'm helping out at one of the booths. I'm volunteering at a booth, so I will be there. But I was going to mention at the end. To close. I was going to mention Hideo Kojima, obviously the game director, creator, producer of Metal Gear game series, as well as this week a trailer for his new game Death Stranding came out, and this has Hollywood actors in it. It's got Mads Mikkelsen, it's got Guillermo del Toro, and it has the lady the one actress French actress or something, I can't remember her name, and it also has the guy from The Walking Dead. I can't. The guy from The Walking Dead. I can't remember his name right now.
Heisenberg?
What?
Heisenberg?
No. Walking Dead.
Oh. I'm thinking of a movie.
Well, anyway,
you cut that out if you want.
That's fine.
Oh yeah, okay.
But it has several big actors in it. It looks like a movie, and it's got all this weird imagery. There's these weird shadow creatures with like chains connecting them together, strands of something. They use little babies in tubes, and they connect to these little babies in these tubes to see the other world, like the shadow world or something. It's the most bizarre game I've ever seen, but you look at it, you're just like, I want to play that. Looks really cool. I want to play that.
And also, aside from anime, I will miss the Big Bang Theory. It officially ended.
Oh, it ended this week?
I think a week or two ago. I think they did finale.
Yeah, it beat. What was it? It beat 2.5 Men as the longest running syndicated whatever. Probably live action, but yeah, I might ask Rocco if he ran into Hideo Kojima this year at Fanime. See what the Mega 64 guys are doing. Also, another piece of news. Recently, I found out that the band I keep mentioning, Psycho Stick, did some kind of show with the Angry Video Game Nerd. So that's going to be really cool.
Psycho Nerd. Okay.
Yeah, whenever they get going. I listened to their song today. They wrote a song called Caps Lock. I am typing in all caps. Can you guess why is it me?
Caps
like that.
I think I heard that song.
As Sunburned Albano would say, that's going to do it for today. So if you like the BobaCast thing, you can suggest topics. We're always open to new topics to discuss. Like, share, subscribe, get involved with Twisted Banana Productions. I'm doing new content all the time. We will stop rustling that bag. We're we're recording. Dang it! I stopped. I actually stopped my boba because with a little bit of boba on the bottom, but I create that slurping sound.
Oh,
A lot of fun stuff, and we accept constructive criticism. Be gentle, as well as new subscribers, and anyone wants to check out our channel or learn more about anime conventions. So you guys have a great evening, and we will see y'all later.
Bye.